Hi, I'm Andrew with NVIDIA and you're watching GeForce Garage. For today's episode, we have two amazing guests that are combining forces to produce a ferocious build.
Hi, I'm Larry from UltimateMods.net.
Hi, I'm Whilce Portacio.
Together, we will combine both art forms in the ultimate fusion of powerful hardware and stunning graphics.
We'll create a monster build that'll be a beast both inside and out.
To house this beast of a machine, we'll start off with the Corsair 780T case. The foundation of our PC starts with the Asus Rampage 5 Extreme motherboard built on the X99 platform. Powered by an Intel i7-5960X Haswell-E CPU, accompanied by 64 gigs of DDR4 Corsair Dominator RAM, clocked at 2666 MHz. And of course, powered by Maxwell GeForce GTX 980 GPUs. But not just one, we have 3 of them in an SLI configuration. So let's see what happens when we put all of this awesome hardware in a room with 2 powerful nerds.
Everything's unpacked, and I start with the motherboard. Sometimes people put the motherboard in first, but I find it much easier to work on the motherboard with these smaller components first on the outside and then mount it in the case afterwards. It just makes it easier.
I like to work on the outline of everything and take a little time in just making sure that it is the way I want it. That means anatomy and everything. I don't like to plan everything to every detail. I like to just let the drawing tell me what to do. The thrill I get as an artist is the seeming chaos of, is it gonna work? That is like almost a high for me, to be able to work my way through, oh no, teetering here and there, and then ending, hopefully, with my career so far, 30 years, more times, than not, it works out.
So now that I have this set up, I'm ready to install the motherboard inside the case. The CPU and the RAM have all been installed on the motherboard. So now I have to put in the I/O shield. This here is the power supply, so I'm going to put that in here.
These are Copics, and this specifically is what's called the broad brush. It's got a really broad tip. They dry fairly good. It seems to adhere to the surface pretty well, but we still have to then coat it, protect it later on. So I'm going to try to use as much permanent ink as possible.
So now I'm ready to install the hard drives. They go in these slots here. Here are the SSD drives. Now I'm ready to install a motherboard in the case. So now I'm ready to remove the top part to install these fans. So now I'm going to install the power supply cables. I put in the graphics cards last because I don't want to bend or break these cables. So now I'm installing the SATA cables for the hard drive and the solid state drive.
I'm going to now use the brushes. Unfortunately, I forgot my nice Japanese ceramic plate. So now becomes the scary part. I came in here with a plan of doing everything with the brush. Now I'm finding I can actually take the Sharpie and use it like a pencil and get some effects that I couldn't get on the brush. So that's the fun thing about art, getting into that a hole and then finding a way out of that. And it could turn out to be better than what I had anticipated.
I used to love playing console games like Halo with my friends, my roommates. We used to have so much fun. But after college, everybody moved out. And then when Halo 2 came out and it was the first online game, I realized there was a lot of communication issues because it required using a headset, and then how was I going to do that, being deaf? And so then some friends said, why don't you use it on a PC? This was back in 2007. So then I got into gaming on the PC, and oh my God, I love it. It's so deaf-friendly, if you will. We can communicate easily, we can play the games, we can be chatting by typing at the same time. So you can even attach a webcam if you want, so you can have video communication while you're playing. It was a huge improvement. The headsets on an Xbox and other consoles, it's so limiting because you don't have that access for a separate video cam, but with PCs you can. You can chat online over video. You can have 2 screens going if you want, 2 or 3 or 4 screens if you want. Right now I have a 3-screen system. A lot of my deaf friends really love it. So this is how I got into building PCs in the first place. So it's really nice.
My first computer in 1986 was Amiga 2000 because I wanted Sculpt 3D because I wanted to do ray tracing. Ray tracing, which is basically high-end 3D, full rendering with full shading, full shadows and stuff. But back in the day, each monitor had like, well, I don't know, 300 scan lines. And so when you start to render, to crunch a scene, I sat there watching every line forming for 2 hours per frame because it was so new and so cool. And that sparked me into the digital media and wanting to do art on the computer. Back then in the day, it was DPaint, a pixel by pixel art program. So every little pixel was just a big block, and you had to try to figure out how to make shapes with those blocks. And so that then led me into the pocket PCs, the tablet PCs, the Newton, everything, on my quest for the best user-friendly portable digital tablet art tool. So anywhere I go, convention, on a plane, hotel, airport, on the beach, I could draw, I could work. Hi, I'm Whilce Portacio, and I've been drawing superhero comics for 30 years now.
I'm Larry. I love building high-end PCs.
And together we make awesome rigs. Performance and aesthetics, power and beauty. Don't forget to check out geforce.com/garage for other guides and helpful information. You're watching GeForce Garage, the ultimate resource for designing, building, and customizing your GeForce PC.